Hello and welcome to the Intentional Brief, your weekly video update on the one big thing in cybersecurity for middle market companies, their investors, and management teams. I'm your host, Shay Colson, managing partner at Intentional Cybersecurity, and you can find us online at intentionalcyber.com. Today is Wednesday, January 29th, and we are already up and running at full speed here in 2025. Unfortunately, we are also still grappling with ransomware this year and have some numbers from the year past that might inform our view of the year ahead. So first, by way of an update, TechCrunch is now reporting that PowerSchool, who we've been talking about for a couple of weeks here, has begun notifying students and teachers who had their data stolen in their breach. News outlet Bleeping Computer cites multiple sources to report that hackers have allegedly accessed personal data of more than 62 million students and 9.5 million teachers in this breach. The Toronto District School Board in Canada late last week confirmed that hackers accessed close to 40 years worth of student data. It is the worst hit organization so far, with data of almost 1.5 million students taken in that breach. In a letter that parents were sent that has been seen by TechCrunch, TDSB confirmed that the stolen data includes genders, grade information, medical data, and accommodation details. Again, over 40 years of 1.5 million students. Now, PowerSchool wasn't alone in their breach last month. A report released last week by the NCC Group noted that the number of ransomware attacks seen at the end of the year is the highest of any month since they started tracking such data in 2021. So just to give you a sense of the activity, it has never been higher. At the same time, security training company KnowBe4 reported on their own last week that the insurance claims and cost for cyber incidents hit record levels in 2024. A couple of data points for you. The severity of claims received for cybercrime had increased by 17% in 2024. By comparison, 2023 severity increased only 1%. Large cyber claims, which are defined in this case as in excess of 1 million euros, $1.1 million here in the US, were more frequent, increasing by 14% in the first 6 months of 2024. The US accounted for 72% of those large claims, and ransomware accounted for 58% of the value of large claim cyber policy invocations in the first 6 months of 2024. Remember, the data here lags a bit, and we know that December was the most active attack month on record. So we're likely to see both this cost and impact rise even further as we get more data. We're also seeing attackers expanding their attack surfaces, with an article in InfoSec magazine noting that software as a service, or SaaS, attacks are up 300% from September 2023 to September 2024. Even more, the article notes that in 84% of incidents analyzed for this report, MFA failed to stop attackers. And so I'm just as frustrated as you that we're not only still here dealing with ransomware, but that we're starting 2025 so far behind the ball. Increased frequency of attack, increased costs of attack, increased large-scale attacks, and decreased effectiveness of our defenses. At the risk of it sounding like things are hopeless, I'd encourage all of us to retrench on the basics, ensure that we know where our data lives, that we can manage the things that we can manage, things like configurations, identities, permissions, and backups. It is going to be rough in 2025. The sooner we can focus on building defensible, communicable security programs, the better chance we have. So let's get to it. From a fundraising perspective, back to more regular numbers this week with more than $5.2 billion in newly committed capital, including SV Angel, Ron Conway's VC firm, best known for seed bets, raising $330 million for its second growth fund and $40 million for its 10th seed fund. As a reminder, alumni of that fund include OpenAI, Databricks, Hippocratic AI, and Harvey out of that initial growth fund, with investments varying between $5 and $20 million across that little portfolio. Pretty good return, one imagines, given the fact that Databricks raised $10 billion on their Series J last week. That's why you get to raise another fund if you're Ron Conway. A reminder, you can find links to all the articles we covered in the comment section below. You can find back issues and written transcripts of these videos at intentionalcyber.com, and we will see you next week for another edition of the Intentional Brief.